Okay, YouTube, excuse the noise in the background. I'm washing some clothes and that may actually come through the microphone, so I apologize for the background noise. But I'm going to do this one today to go over some things in regards to an installation that I'm doing that's installing a 1450 EV charger. And 1450 is the standard name for the NEMA 1450 connection, which is these straight connectors and the ground. As you can see, another one here. So I'm just going to go over the differences between purchasing an RV charging, an RV power versus EV charging. And there is definitely a difference. So this I purchased from a company called Vevor or Vevor. Pretty good. It's an outdoor box, as you can see. Comes with the 1450, the NEMA 1450 connector. Same pattern, same construction as you can see. It's not the same construction, sorry. The same format. These three straight in the ground. This one, three straight in the ground. But they are very different. This one is for normal usage, and would be, you plug in and you use certain amounts of voltage, a certain amount of amperage, and this is for an RV. You plug it in, kind of leave it, and then you'd use the devices within your RV up to the 50 amps that this is rated for, which is that 50R, R standing for receptacle. This one here is is a heavy duty piece. This is a commercial grade by a company called Bryant. Now, Bryant is a commercial grade NEMA 1450 receptacle. They make it, manufacturer, that's the word I'm looking for, sorry. And the connections are very different here in terms of like just how it's made and how it's built. Now, why this instead of that? So this box, about $27. Vevor, you can order directly from them. It's great. It has a little opening here. You plug in your connection. It stays in there. The cord drops through here, and you can close the top, and then that's secured. Cord sticking out of here. It's up on your wall like this, and you have the cover here. Connections in the back there. These are for wires to go inside of the box, and you secure it. Comes with a small lock. Know how much theft this little thing is going to prevent, but it does come with it. And it comes with these adapters for different holes, for different sizes of cables that you would put through here. And that's for piping and electric metal tubing that will take this plate off here, this plate on the side, depending on how you're going to enter, or that plate there. And then you run your cable, your connection through here onto there, and that's gonna give you the tubing that you're gonna run your wire through. So great job in terms of construction. It's secure. You lock it up, and then bang, this protects it from the weather. Your connection is there. Now I already took off these two screws that hold it in there. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this for an EV connection. Now this is good for amperage that'll go up to 50 amps on off, not a constant. If you have an EV, you know that these things charge and they're going to pull constant amperage. That constant amperage is going to lead to heat being a byproduct of electricity. This one here, this I'm going to use for compatibility to a 1450 connection, which 240 volt EV connectors come with. But I'm not going to run 50 amps. I'm going to do this on a 24 amp running a 10-2 cable, which is rated at 30 amps. So I'm going to run 24 amps through a cable that's rated for 30 amps through a receptacle that's rated to take 125 volts or 250 volts, as you can see there, up to 50 amps. So everything's going to be well within its tolerance, no risk of fire, and this thing is not going to know it's only running 24 amps. I'm just using it for compatibility sake. So this is something to do. Now, what I'm going to do, be that when I charge this EV, or the person that I'm doing this for is going to have their EV charging at 24 amps, we're going to stick a 30 amp breaker in their box, 240 volt, 30 amp breaker on a 10-2 cable, but only going to pull 24 amps through that 30 amp wire. What does that mean? It means that we got 30 amps to play with. We're only going to use 24. And this is going to be able to take that constant amperage, charging at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours straight, and not have these nice robust connectors start to melt down, which is what this one might do. I'm going to pop this out in a second and show you the differences between the commercial grade and this one. You can already kind of see a little bit of that face is side by side. See that that's kind of already, this one's a little bit bigger, and it is bigger. So I'm going to take this off here, and we're going to compare them side by side. That quick. So we're looking at them side by side. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is this Bryant commercial grade and this, I'm going to call it prosumer grade, not consumer grade. The Bryant is taller. Look, the height difference is the first thing. How deep these connections are versus these connections. You can look at even the grade of the metal right here. The thickness of that versus the thickness of that. You know? You're looking at the size, the physical size of the actual circle. This is larger, circumference-wise, than this one. You can start to look at biggest thing. Look at these connections on the Bryant. How they have that groove in there for the wires. This is a hex wrench, or like people like to call it, an Allen key. And you tighten those down, and this is going to kind of cup the wires and bring them in there with the ground being on the top here. A lot more robust, much thicker plastic, and this is just all around, you know, if you can see inside there, kind of heavy duty. The prosumer one, look at the connections. There's flat screw down connectors. They come with a, you know, Phillips head or flat. You know, you can kind of get that tight, you know, but you know, how tight is it really gonna go? So the ground connection there, this nice little thin connection they have to the body, and just all around the you know, the connections just don't look as robust. You can see the little serrations inside there with the screws touching, and it's, you know, it'll do the job if it's a regular, you know, you plug it in, it's not running the constant 50 amps all the time, and it's, you know, running whatever you're using. Whereas this thing, we're going to be pulling 24 amps or however many hours it takes to do that EV, to charge that EV fully. Granted, if we stuck 50 amps through this thing, it would take it. Now, what we would probably do is stick 48 amps through it or 40 amps through it, because you never want to max out the rated amperage on these. You're going to stay the 80% rule. But pound for pound, we're going to have to basically modify this. Here's the front plate. As you can see, the one that it came with slips right over with no problem. We go to this one. Oh no. So we're going to modify this a little bit. Take this and make this a little bit larger on the hole. Cutting through this metal is pretty robust, but we're going to cut through that so that it fits on here nice and even, drops beyond so that it hits flush, you know, and goes right to that level with it. And then stick this in the box with the more robust commercial Bryant connection into the outdoor box here. Connect this to ground, and then bring our wiring with our the tubing up through the bottom and straight into the connections there. Now we're going to do a 240, so we're only going to use two conductors, hot, and the ground, which is on that side, and that's going to go right here and bring the ground into here, and then connect our ground there. So this is what we're going to do. Just wanted to explain why we do this, what you can do to get this nice $28 box to go outside. It's going to have your lever and mechanism with your lock connection being right there. Lock goes right there. But you got to modify your faceplate some to fit the Bryant connection for this better, more robust 1450 connection. Now, you could run, again, up to 50 amps on this thing. I'm choosing not to. just for compatibility. I need the 1450 form factor, but I do not need the voltage to run a 50 amp connection. That's my video. Hope this helps anybody wondering what to do with these or why you use a connection. Price wise, this thing is about 50 bucks on eBay, which is why the box looks torn up. It is new, but it was an open box special, $50 to the door, about 53 bucks. This connection and this box, $26 or $27 from Vevor. You can buy it directly from them. It's a great buy. I think the box is robust. It's got good connections. Again, it comes with a little chintzy lock. It's more of a deterrent than an actual security. But that's it. That's the video. Hope it helps. And this is what I'm going to do. I would suggest if you're going to do an EV charger that you can use this Bryant connection, and it is made in the USA. So this is not the, stuff made elsewhere. All right. Hope that helps everybody. See ya.